Oh hey, welcome back. Probably wondering why I'm recording in the kitchen. I just thought I needed a change of space and I kind of wanted to stand. Anyway, you clicked on this video because you either saw this cover or you're wondering why I'm rereading this book or why anyone would reread this book. Well, I'm here to tell you. Last month, my friends and I decided to do a little book club. It's not a very formal book club. This book club consists of my friends Para, Michael, Jimmy, Ada, and I. And my friends love arguing about controversial topics and social issues. So we're like, why not have an argument or discussion about a book? I'm sorry about my cat in the P-Bots, please. I'm recording. Anyway, so last month we read Jeanette McCurdy's I'm Glad My Mom Died, and this month we are reading The Catcher in the Rye. This only won by 2 votes. Michael put this book up because he was like, wow, it would be really interesting to see how our perspectives or thoughts or opinions change on this book after 10 plus years. I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I wonder if my thoughts have changed. So I voted on this book and then Michael voted on this book. So this book literally won by 2 votes. Hence, we are here. I haven't read this book in over 10 years. I read this book in high school and I actually really love this book. I gave this book 5 stars when I read it in high school. I think I really loved it because I had a great English teacher. Shout out to Mr. Horn. He just taught it in such an enthusiastic way that it made me appreciate the book and excited to read the book. It was the first time where I was annotating the book and being analytical about the text and I didn't hate it. Number 2, I think at the time I resonated with some of the things that Holden Caulfield was going through at the time. Well, we'll see how that is when I reread it because I don't remember much actually, but I remember really resonating with the fact that he disliked change and he wanted to lock everything in a glass case in a museum so that it would never change. I don't know about the phoniness and all the other stuff, but I remember really agreeing about his point on change. Now that I'm more mature and an adult and I can understand the need for change, I wonder how I'll feel differently about that topic. So this is like a reading vlog of me rereading this after 10 plus years. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's see if I hate Holden Caulfield or still appreciate him as a character. I feel like this book is very polarizing in not only society, but on subreddits and book communities. People either love it or hate it. I'm interested to see where I lie on that spectrum and where my friends lie on the spectrum. I think Michael and Ada already finished this book and it's really just me, Jimmy, and Para that need to read it and then we'll discuss in June. So that's the plan this weekend, read this book. I also really like how I annotated this book because we were forced to annotate it in high school. I'll probably just be tabbing it for discussion points for the book club, but yeah. We'll be doing that. Bye. Happy Sunday. I know I said I would read this book, and I did, but I only really got to page 60. Yeah, I only really got to page 60. Yesterday was just not a reading day. My brain was just not in it. Is it because of the book? Maybe. Is it because of my brain? That too. I just couldn't find the concentration to really get into it. But now, today I'm a little sick, or Sammy thinks it's allergies, but I haven't had allergies in ages. I just feel like someone's like having a little feather duster party in my nose. So maybe it's like the perfect day to actually settle in and read this book because I can't really do anything else. I just feel like this book is just Holden yapping on things happening in his life. I started reading this and I realized there's definitely a lot that I've forgotten about this book. I didn't remember any of it when I was reading it yesterday, so hopefully I'll get through it today. Honestly though, the text is pretty big in this book and it's only like 250 pages. I should be able to get through this today if I am able to concentrate. All right, time to get reading. I am like halfway through the book, and something that really irks me is like my past high school reading self. Basically, we were given this bookmark by our English teacher to annotate the book if we saw anything related to like phoniness, innocence, symbolism of the red hunting hat, craziness, madness, insanity, and if Holden ever spoke in second person. And I feel like I understood the assignment with highlighting where I thought there was phoniness involved, essentially like fakeness when the character was being fake. But for craziness, madness, insanity, I just highlighted passages where the word crazy or mad or depression came up. Just so not creative. I'm like seeing other parts where Holden's acting crazy, but I didn't highlight it. So I feel like I guess I didn't understand that motif at the time that I'm seeing it now and can comprehend it better. I don't know, but man, I was so dumb back then. Anyway, okay, back to reading.
Several days later.
All right, it's actually been a couple of days. I finished this book last night. It killed me. Listen, this is not one of those books that you can just binge or finish in a weekend. It's one of those books where you gotta read a couple passages and just let it marinate in your brain, in your mind, like good old chicken teriyaki kebab. You want it to taste good, so you let it marinate overnight in the fridge. It's one of those books. But in all seriousness, this is a very plotless book. I almost forgot that there is really no plot. It is quite literally Holden Caulfield going around New York City and meeting with different types of people, friends and strangers, and talking to them. Each interaction is pretty significant. It makes you really think about Holden as a character and what he's going through, what he says, how he feels, how he acts. It's all really intriguing, honestly. I forgot how weirdly immersive his dialogue is. I didn't find it annoying at all. I know the repetitiveness of what he says can be annoying to some people, but I really didn't find him that annoying. I found him really more intriguing and hilarious, actually. Maybe that's because I read it in a different mindset than how I read it in high school. I really tried to channel my teenage angst reading this book, but I couldn't find it. Maybe I'm just not an angsty teenager anymore, and I think that's probably for the better. It's one of those books that really make you think, and I don't think I loved it as much as I did in high school. Now I'm such a different reader. I really enjoy books with some plot. You know, I can understand why it is such a highly venerated book and venerated in its time. I recognize why it's a classic and why it was such an achievement for when it was written and the context and time period for when it was written. Huge kudos to J.D. Salinger for writing a character and really thoughtfully writing the tense and the sentence structure of this novel. It's very well written, but very innovative in the way it was written. I gotta appreciate the classic that it is, but just like not my type of book anymore. And maybe it was never really my type of book back then. It's just like not a book I would gravitate towards and enjoy reading in my free time. I was quite forced to read this for my book club, which I learned that Jimmy doesn't even want to read this book anymore because he thinks it's so boring. So who knows if we're ever gonna all finish this book and talk about it. But all in all, I'm glad I reread this. I don't think I would reread it a third time, but who knows, maybe I will. I don't know. It's just not one of those books I would just pick up because I was bored, is what I'm saying. But I appreciate it for what it is. It's just not my type of book. All right, well, that concludes my reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed. I'm doing this little thing in the corner where I stack the books I talk about. Someone told me my background looks very empty, so I'm starting to stack the books I read. I've read a couple more, but I'm wondering if I should just stack the books I read and talk about on this channel, or if I should stack all the books I've been reading. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know if you've read this book or if you're actively avoiding it, or if you're forced to read it in school, and what you thought about it. All right, well, thanks for joining.